Getting set for kickoff in the first ever U.S. Soccer Development Academy Boys U-15 final between Toronto FC and LAFC. And a good look at your referees for this morning's match. Jacqueline Amaya out of New Jersey has the honor of being the woman in the middle for this one. Christian Clare out of Washington will assist her on this near side. Nancy Camarillo will be the AR2 on the far side. She's out of Cal South. Well, Colby Johnson from Connecticut will be the fourth official in between the benches. So we are getting set for kickoff. The two best offenses in the Development Academy. Toronto FC, 110 goals through the regular season and the playoffs, against LAFC, 103 goals through the regular season and this playoff run. And NTFC, the second best defense in the Development Academy against the seventh best defense in the Development Academy. So what kind of game will we see here? Could be very open. It could also be cagey, as a lot of finals are. So this is a Toronto FC side that is coached by Michael Stefano in his second stint as the U-15 head coach and his seventh season with Toronto FC's academy. It's a good look at Dino Bontis, goalkeeper for TFC. LAFC in their final huddle of the season, the first ever year of this single U-15 age group. Bo Yance, the number 5, standing up. Very important in his outside back position. As they're getting hyped up for this one. LAFC, the first ever side to win a CONCACAF championship, did it last year at U13 level. Plenty of these players were on that team, and now they look to take the Development Academy title. As Donovan Palomares gets set in his goal for LAFC. Palomares, in his second year with LAFC, is a Mexican youth international. Bontes looks on. As we are underway from Oceanside. Played forward right away. Pellegrino leaves it back for Marshall Ruddy. Pustahegi gets it over to Shannon. The ball looking for Mbangwe. Brought down, over for Leone, who gets it to Palomares. Smashes it into midfield. I give a warm welcome to those of you watching up in LA or Toronto or wherever you may be today here on U.S. Soccer's YouTube page and the U.S. Soccer Development Academy website. Jimenez looking to fashion the first real attack for LAFC. And that's well defended as Marshall Ruddy comes back and gets it off to Pustahegi. His clearance will roll out of bounds. Well, we're giving out welcomes. Welcome to those of you listening who are members of the 3252 for LAFC and for Toronto. Those of you from the Kings of the North, U Sector, Original 109, Tribal Rhythm Nation, and the Red Patch Boys. And thank you so much for tuning in for this final and supporting your academy teams as you are watching the future of your clubs and the future of your national teams as well. So this will be a throw-in for LAFC. And we talked about Toronto FC's goal-scoring prowess. Their largest margin of victory was 12-0. Also won another game, 11-0. It's a good combination. Pellegrino sends it across. That one's repelled. Pellegrino gets it again, also blocked. And now Lima to send it clear. Lima scored the first goal of the playoffs for LAFC in that 5-1 win over the Philadelphia Union. One on the far side and inside for Franco de Luna. And Mbangwe forces him back with it. Leone, player who has already trained with LAFC's first team, is on the ball once again, and he gets back to Palomares. Shannon brings this down on the chest. In for Alvarez. Helps it onto Mbangwe. He slides it through, looking for the run of Marshall Ruddy. And headed back to Shannon. As Pustejuegui. Lima was looking to slide it through. Pellegrino couldn't find Marshall Ruddy. DeLuna. That'll be the first free kick of the game, and it goes the way of Toronto FC. Pustejuegui gets it across for Dorian Shannon. Torres got Mbangwe giving chase, and Mbangwe's pressure wins the throw-in for Toronto. So this one will be left off for Thomas Di Clemente. Di Clemente, the most recent addition to this Toronto FC squad, and he gets the start in the final. So this comes back to Palomares. And LAFC will look to build out of the back in the 5th minute. 40-minute halves played at the U-15 level. Alvarez being hounded by Lima, who gets a foot in. And this one played through. Presto gets onto it. Di Clemente stands him up, leaves it back, and the shot from Vasquez is over the crossbar. First genuine opportunity of the game goes to LAFC. Fabian Vasquez just unable to keep his shot down, but what a ball that was from Christian Torres. And Presto, cheeky little rollback for Vasquez, just couldn't get his effort on target. Is DeLuna able to poke it away from Mbangwe. Leone, Torres, stab forward for DeLuna, who finds Leone. Leone has been involved in multiple U.S. national team camps. Di Clemente will get it all the way back for Bontes. And the pressure forces him to go safety first as he clears it into touch. We've talked about Toronto's defense, but it's LAFC who have shutouts in their last 4 games of the regular season. 5 in their last 7 games played, when you count the 1-0 win over the Chicago Fire on match day 2. LAFC's lost to the Rapids their final match day, just their 2nd loss of the season. As they're on the attack through Fabian Vasquez. He's thrown to the ground by Di Clemente. It'll be a free kick for LAFC and a chance to swing this one into the danger area should they choose. So Vasquez, in his first season since joining from FC Golden State, picks himself off the floor. As the cavalry is up from the back. Leone is in the box, getting ready to make his run. Torres and Yance are also in the mix as this comes in, and it was flicked clear over the head of Yance and Leone, and it's TFC to come out with it. Long ball searching for Mbangwe. Just unable to keep it in. A perfectly weighted ball down the line, looking for Mbangwe from Stojan Dinovic. Stojan Dinovic the right back for Toronto FC, has started every game this season. Head coach Michael Stefano saying that the reason he started every game is because he's a very versatile player and has excellent in-game insight. As Lima will get it back for Torres. Inside for De Luna, who's the link between defense and attack for this LAFC side. Yance steps inside. Aaron pass is picked off. And Luca Achatola wins the free kick. The referee telling the players no more kicking the ball away after the whistle's gone. Good early warning from the referee, Jacqueline Amaya. And it's Achatola who's over it. The Richmond Hill, Ontario native has exceptional technique, and Toronto FC will be looking for it here. Also coming over is Di Clemente. So Di Clemente could serve it in with his left, or it'd be Achatola on his right. If Di Clemente hits it, it'll be more toward the penalty spot. Achatola more toward the back corner of the 6. It is Achatola. It was right to the penalty spot, but it's cleared away by LAFC. And the black and gold sees on the loose ball. And this one will skip all the way through for Jimenez. Has Torres calling for it. It's over the top, looking for Torres, but getting there first is Dino Bontis. Dino Bontis was voted the U-13 CONCACAF Champions League Golden Glove winner back in 2017. Still only 14 Bontis, but getting his 16th start in 17 appearances this season, and his third of these playoffs. Towering header from Torres to win it back for LAFC on the far side. Has rolled out wide. Ball looking for Jimenez. Goes into touch, so it'll be a throw-in for Toronto FC in the 11th minute of play. Lima. Presto's flying ahead to join the front three. It's out wide for Vasquez. Gets around Di Clemente. Di Clemente did well to recover and force Vasquez to go out wide. Now the ball's clipped in and well stationed with Stojadinovic to head clear. Only at the top of the box for Luna, who couldn't keep his effort down. A good running from Franco de Luna to be in the right spot should that clearance have come to the top of the box. And that is such a hard technique to hit it on the volley. Luna did well to get something on it. Now Toronto FC committed to building out of the back. I love that from these teams. Head coach Michael Stefano saying that all these players want to become pros, of course, and this game really just a step in their development. And so they will stick to their principles even with so much on the line. As Vasquez was unable to bring that under control, and Bontis quickly to the top of his area. Both of these teams were very successful in the GA Cup this year. So we'll get back to that in a second as this ball intercepted. Tried to smuggle it through for Torres, but that was well cleared by the TFC defense, and they'll have a goal kick. Well, LAFC beat Cruz Azul, Leon, and Guadalajara in the GA Cup, but lost to Leon 4-3 on penalty kicks in the third place match, following a 0-0 draw. TFC, meanwhile, went to the final where they lost to Chivas Guadalajara in a penalty shootout. So these teams, no stranger to big games, have been played in the like of the CONCACAF Champions League and the GA Cup. Now looking to become the first ever team in history to win the U.S. Soccer Development Academy Boys U-15 Championship, as Jimenez intercepts inside for Lima. Tried to squeeze it back through for Jimenez. And Marshall Ruddy looking to go forward. Has 21 goals on the year, Marshall Ruddy. He's already on a pro contract for TFC. As this one slid in between the center and outside backs for Vasquez, but getting there first is Di Clemente. Achitola. And patience from TFC as they get it back. And now Alvarez to bring it forward for the Canadian side. Their first team, 7-time Canadian champions. As this rolls out for a throw-in. Ustahegi. Stojandinovic drills it over the far side. Perfect ball for Clemente. Doing the defending is Vasquez. Throw in for Thomas Di Clemente. Marshall Ruddy escapes the attention of Yance and leaves it off for Shannon. Was over the top looking for the run of the outside back. Di Clemente was almost able to get around Rosales on the far side, but it goes out for a goal kick. So Palomares out of Los Angeles, California, and Cathedral High School plays it short. Lima spins away from Pellegrino and gets it into the midfield. Threaded through, looking for the run of Christian Torres, but it was well guarded by Shannon. Presto unable to bulldoze his way through, and Alvarez helps it up the line. TFC running out of real estate on the far side, so it'll be a throw-in for LAFC. Pops up to the top of the box. Brought down by DeLuna. Helps it on for Lima. DeLuna comes away with it, gets it out wide. Oh, it's a good run into the box. Vasquez crowded out in the end. And the challenge on Shannon deemed illegal by the referee. It'll be a free kick for Dorian Shannon and Toronto FC. Dino Bontis. Ustahegi. Manes dispossesses him. Ustahegi will be called for dangerous play. LAFC wanted to take it quickly. Instead, instructed by the bench to tease this one into the melting pot. So it's Yance who's over it. There's a placer station just in front of him. Looks like he's going to touch it to him and he'll leave it off so he can hit it. And now Yance will serve. Away by Di Clemente. And Marshall Ruddy has space to run on the far side, looking to lead the break for Toronto FC. Achitola spins with it and gets it back to Marshall Ruddy. Alvarez looking for the early ball. This played behind the run of Mateo Albia. And it'll be another throw-in for LAFC as they continue to creep further up the touchline. Yance. Jimenez flicks it on, looking for Lima. He's met by Postahegi. Good composed defending for Postahegi to win the goal kick for Toronto FC. Luna rolls it into the feet of Presto. Back for DeLuna. Intercepted by Achitola. Threaded through, looking for the run of Marshall Ruddy on the far side. Skips past the challenge. Now walking along the end line. Plays it across. Just beyond the runner and into the arms of Palomares. Inside for Presto. Torres drags it out wide. Torres checks into the pocket and leaves it out wide for Vasquez. Shannon policing him. Doesn't allow the cross, but it's at the expense of the first corner kick of the game, and it goes the way of the California side. LAFC play it short. Options to find in the box. Scoop to the back post. Headed down and flicked in. LAFC have the lead off of a beautifully worked corner kick. And it's Presto who gets his name up in lights. Oh, it's a great run from Jimenez. Presence of mind to pick his head up, searching out the back post, headed down by Leone, and Presto was in the right position, still had it all to do, and he's able to toe poke it home. First ever scorer in a U.S. Soccer Development Academy Boys U-15 final is Dylan Presto. So his name goes into history books. And the best defense in the Development Academy is breached. It doesn't happen often. Presto, right at the midway point of the first half, gives LAFC the lead. And they're singing over on the far side bleachers. What will the response be from Toronto FC? They went down to a 28th minute goal against the Montreal Impact in their final group game, but came back to win. This is a TFC side that is absolutely fine playing from behind. They believe in themselves and their ability, will not panic, will not change the way they play. And they have an hour to get back into it. The free kick will be called for a foul in midfield. There are 2 wins in these playoffs. TFC have come from behind. So this one's still very much in the balance. Jimenez's cross is too close to Bontes. Overrun by Alvarez. Torres running right at the heart of the back line. Picks out Jimenez. Gets past one challenge, but can't get by the second. Good cover coming in from Postahegi. Shannon's clearance only as far as Lima at the top of the box. Now he wants to run, but it's Alvarez back doing the defending. Just look at how calm these players are under pressure. And a perfect ball floated to the far side. It's Marshall Ruddy who's looking to run into the space for Albia. Rolled into the box for Mbangwe. And he wins the first corner kick of the game for the Canadian side. Well, LAFC scored on their corner kick. What can TFC do with theirs? This one played in by Albia. And coming up to pluck it out of the sky is Palomares. Beautiful distribution into the space. Lima over the top for Jimenez. And coming off his line to take is Bontes, as he'll leave it off for Jordan Alvarez. Shannon spins back with it and gets it out wide for Di Clemente. Up the line looking for Mbangwe. And Mbangwe wins the free kick for Toronto FC. '25th minute, LAFC have a 1-0 lead through Dylan Presto in the 20th. Lifted into the box. LAFC to the first and second ball. Lifted up over the boot to Lima. TFC's high press paying off as Stoyan Dinovic wins it back in midfield. Torres able to poke it away from him, but right to Di Clemente, who will hit the reset button for TFC as he gets it back to Shannon. Stoyan Dinovic drives it into the channel for the run of Mbangwe. First order of business to keep it in. He's not able to keep it in bounds, but does a great job to get it out for a throw-in the deepest part of the field, rather than a goal kick for LAFC. Question with the throw in here is, do you want to try and put it into the box, or are you going to play it down the line? As Stoyan Dinovic will take it, and he gets it inside for Mbangwe. Little touch back for Stoyan Dinovic. Pustahegi. Torres hassling him, able to get it off for Shannon, who gets it over to Stoyan Dinovic. And LAFC forcing the long ball. Albia gets his head to it and was able to skim it off the LAFC defender, so it'll be a throw-in for TFC. Reminder that this is one of 3 games we'll have for you today here on US Soccer from the Development Academy Playoffs and Championship. We'll have 2 U16-17 boys quarterfinals coming up after this. Free kick for TFC right at the edge of the box. So it's Rosales who's the guilty party. And now an opportunity for TFC to see if they can draw level from a set piece of their own. It's Jaquil Marshall Ruddy who's over the ball. Has some company as well. Can't quite see who he's joined by on the far side from my vantage point. But it looks like it's going to be Marshall Ruddy to swing it in. Plays it in low. Set back in and blocked inside the 6. Clearance only as far as Pellegrino. Lovely skill from him. Lima. Deft touch over the top for Torres, but he's unable to keep it in bounds. But you see how quickly they try and break LAFC. Good idea to try and drive it in, but Pustahegi was wise to it. And now he'll play it over the top for Albia. Leone is there first, and he guides it back to his keeper, but it went out of bounds. It's going to be a corner kick for TFC. Second of the game for the Canadian side. Achatola who's over it. Going to the box and a towering header clear. Jimenez. Forward for Torres to chase. Bontis is well out of his goal to make the clearance. And it's good distribution from the keeper. But it's won back by Jimenez. Smart play from Franco de Luna to keep possession for LAFC. Now over the top for Torres. He's looking for the back heel to Jimenez. Was unable to slide it through the legs of Pustahegi. And away with it comes Pellegrino. Leaves it off for Alvarez. Alvarez wasn't aware that Torres was ghosting in to take the ball off him, and now Lima will try his luck from distance. But the shot always rising. And it'll be a goal kick for the side from Ontario. So on the half-hour mark, 1-0. LAFC leads Toronto. The goal coming 10 minutes ago after a scramble in the box from a corner kick. Presto was able to poke it home and give LAFC the lead. As this one's picked off, quickly off his line to quell the dangers. Bontis, brave challenge from the keeper. And he did well to get back up and smother the rebound. Yance misses his header. Right to the boot of Jimenez. Yance on the overlap. Jimenez takes the inside route. And the free kick is called. De Luna wanted to take it quickly. Realizes he doesn't have any options, so he's going to leave this off for Leone. Antonio Leone, U.S. Youth International, wearing the captain's armband tonight. Well, it's still this morning, isn't it? He's wearing the captain's armband this morning. Nifty footwork from De Luna. But unable to bring it under control was Yance. Played in looking for Torres. Lima. Presto spins over the top looking for the run of Vasquez, but it's headed away by Di Clemente. Now LAFC, well, if the front line squeezes, the midfield's got to close just a bit, but coming out to provide the extra man to build out of the back is Bontis. And so LAFC drop back in their shape. Pustahegi, long, looking for the run of Albia. Yance gets there first, guides it back to Leone. Returns the favor for Yance. The two of them playing catch. Well, he didn't get the ball, but I love the way that the keeper shaped out to be an option. Then it does come to him, and he looks to switch it back to the other side. Pumped forward by Yance, headed away by Pustahegi. And Bangwe realizes he has time to turn. Gets it out wide from Marshall Ruddy. He gets the underlap from Di Clemente, shaping up to cross. falls for Mbangwe. Mbangwe leaves it off. The shot doesn't make its way through. And it's going to roll out for the third corner kick of the game for Toronto FC. So it's Luka Achitola who will take. He's been over all these set pieces from the corners, Achitola. And that's why it's a decent ball in, just didn't get over the head of the first defender. Free kick gives LAFC a get out of jail free card. Final 6.5 minutes plus stoppage time of the opening 40 in the first ever boys under 15 U.S. Soccer Development Academy Championship. Achitola providing the pressure, forcing Palomares to smack clear. Lima intercepts. Jans. Jimenez takes off. Jans over the back line to find him, but Bontis, good reading from him as he comes out as the sweeper keeper. And so Jimenez held up his run. Oh, lovely skill from LAFC. It's a beautiful combination, but it was off the back of Torres as he was making the run through. And that was a smartly measured ball played from Pellegrino. Well, Albia left the starting gates a bit too late, and LAFC overtakes. Lima has space to run, eats up the ground in front of him. Near side, Jimenez. Top of the box for Luna! And quickest to the rebound is Presto! It's his double. It's a 2-0 lead for LAFC. Presto once again in the right spot, but it was all the work of Jimenez leaving off for Luna. Unlucky not to score, but he won't mind. In the end, the ball is into the back of the net, courtesy of Dylan Presto. Now, if you're LAFC, obviously you continue to play your game, you continue to do what's working for you, but you must make sure that in these final 4 minutes plus stoppage time, you do not give up a goal, you do not give a lifeline, or allow the momentum to shift back to Toronto FC. If you're Toronto FC, that's exactly what you're looking for. A goal to give you guys hope and to put the nerves back on LAFC as you go into the break, as that is a heavy collision between two of the premier players in this development academy in Donovan Palomares and Hugo Mbangwe. And Mbangwe still down, hoping that he's okay. And the trainer actually being called off the field as Mbangwe gets up, and it'll be the fourth corner kick of the game for Toronto FC. Going up and flying out to get it was the keeper. It was an important intervention from Palomares. He has to deal with another cross. Punches decisively. Sent back in by Marshall Ruddy. And on his line to make the save is Palomares. And beautiful distribution as well. Vasquez. And Alvarez matches him step for step. That is a tremendous recovery run from Alvarez. Stepped in by Leone. To Luna. Pellegrino gets the return ball. Into the middle for Achitola. He'll spray it out to the far side. Di Clemente with the underlap into the channel. And he is met there by Torres. And it will be the 5th corner kick of the game for Toronto FC. The heavy artillery is up from the back. And Mbangwe skies, but couldn't get his head over the ball to direct it downwards. Still love the way that he attacked the ball, Hugo Mbangwe. As Toronto FC starting to grow into the game as we head into the dying embers of the first half. And Mbangwe just unable to get his header on target. But he's been menacing in this first half for TFC. 19 goals on the season for Hugo Mbangwe. Really, 22 when you add the fact that he scored 3 goals in 5 appearances for the U16-17s for TFC. Di Clemente strong in the challenge on the far side. The LAFC player struggling. And now the referee will hold up play while she goes over to check. I believe it's Fabian Vasquez who's struggling. You hope that Vasquez is okay. As out comes the trainer. So a break in play on the stroke of halftime. His 4th official, Colby Johnson, telling both coaches how much stoppage time there will be before he goes over to lift the board. Very nice of him to signal to me that there will be 2 minutes of stoppage time. That's just the minimum though, and with Vasquez being looked at by the trainer, you feel that head referee Jacqueline Amaya might go over it. So Vasquez will have to come off for the moment since the trainer came out to check on him. So for a split second, LAFC down to 10 men. Referee waves Vasquez back on, and we're 11 v 11. Presto on a hat trick. Can he grab his 3rd before the break? And poked out of bounds on the far side by Diego Rosales. Rosales up from the U14s for LAFC, making his 7th appearance with the 05s, or the 04s rather, from his 05 age group. Well, the other 2 games today in the U16-17 boys quarterfinals will be an all-Dallas derby between FC Dallas and Solar, who've already played each other 3 times this season. And that will be at 1:30 Pacific, and then at 4:30, it'll be the only team left undefeated, the U16-17 level of the U.S. Soccer Development Academy, and that is the De Anza Force taking on Real Colorado. For now, on the stroke of halftime in the U15 championship, and it's LAFC who have the 2-0 lead. Looking to take that lead into the break. So that'll be the last action of the first half. 2 goals from Dylan Presto have LAFC out in front. We're gonna step aside, but we'll be back with you for the final 40 minutes of regulation in the U15 championship. At the break, it's Toronto FC 0, LAFC 2.
I'm Patrick Schulte. I play for St. Louis FC Academy. I'm a goalkeeper, and I'm here for the DA playoffs. I had my first debut with St. Louis FC in the Open Cup a few weeks ago. We tied 1-1, went to penalties, and we won a penalty shootouts. It was real cool because I was the hero in the situation. The coaching staff, really prepared me well. Just growing up through the DA, they just taught me everything I know. I hate losing, so my mindset is don't let anything in. If I don't let anything in, I have faith in my teammates that they'll score a goal. Hopefully, each and every day we put our best effort out and we advance out of our group. This game was real good. Started off with 2 goals and then got another one. They got one back, but we kept fighting and got another one, and we got to the win today.
Hi, I'm Rafael Wicki. I'm the U-17 men's national team coach. There is more than one goal. Obviously, I'm here to watch games. I see a lot of the players from our pool who were at the qualifying, but also obviously to see some new players, younger players. There's all the age groups here, so that's very interesting for me. There's a lot of players, a lot of games, but it's very, very interesting to see them play in their teams, and as well to meet some of the players we already know and talk to them.
I try to be a leader and a role model with my other 2 teammates, Mauricio and Kobe. Just, setting the example on and off the field and talking to them, motivating them, and just being the example.
There's a lot of tough teams out here, just like international teams. Physically, everyone has to always keep a strong mentality also, and we just need to get on it and just win our games and do everything possible to win.
On and off the field, you always have to be a leader, encouraging these guys to do better each game and to stay focused.
Yeah, it's not often that they're all in one place, so that's obviously very good. Even we don't have all the players from a 17 national team here. That's a different kind of pressure, but it's just good to see so many players, a lot of games, the distances are short, I can see how they play in their clubs, I can see new players, that's the benefit and that's the goal. It's an important showcase, it's an important tournament for the teams, for the players. It's about winning, it's about qualifying for the finals.
All right, guys, we're here with the first ever qualifier for the U-15 final. That's LAFC. Congratulations.
Our team's performance, it's been pretty good. The whole team has been on their level, on their game. From the season to the playoffs, putting the goals has been one of our specialties. We just hold the ball, touch it around, find our way towards the goal, and boom, it's a goal.
Before we come, we always have a game plan of what we're going to do, and we usually execute it very well. Everybody has their own thing about what they do when they attack. Our forwards are really special, right to left to middle.
It's absolutely great to be representing our team in the finals. It's our first U-15 team, the hardest team. We've worked our way to get here, just through thick and thin.
There's a sense of leadership you have to have, being the oldest group. We have to go out with the same mindset as every other game. Just go out and win.
Presto. And the first ever goal in U.S. Soccer Development Academy U-15 championship history goes to Dylan Presto, and he would get the second as he was quickest to react to that shot off the post from Luis Lima. And it's LAFC who have the 2-0 lead as we get set for the final 40 minutes of regulation. So referee Jacqueline Amaya just making sure that we are all set to go. Reminder that if we are tied after this, we will have extra time, followed by shootout if necessary. LAFC looking for their 11th clean sheet of the season to cement their place at the top of the U-15 U.S. Soccer Development Academy. As we're into the final 40 minutes of regulation of what has been a 10-month season for these players. And 2 teams left standing, LAFC and Toronto FC. As Cheyenne Sultanzadeh has come on. And Sultanzadeh, I believe, has replaced Mateo Albia. So Sultanzadeh on for his 24th appearance of the season. Has 15 goals on the year, Sultanzadeh. So much firepower to come off the bench for this Toronto FC side. Both of these clubs have such strength and depth that new players will enter the fray in the second half, but you won't see the level drop. It's Toronto FC looking to fashion their first real attack of the second half. Reminder to stay with us after this one, as we will have the medal ceremony and the trophy presentation. We'll also have some interviews field side as well. Toronto FC, 110 goals on the season. They need 2 more here. They've been in possession to start this second half. So it was forward looking for the run of Achitola. Now LAFC, be patient in their build-up. I love that both teams are so committed to their principles, so committed to developing the way they play, making sure that they always stick to it and don't deviate from it. This comes back for Pustahegi. Head coach Michael Stefano saying of Pustahegi that he has improved vastly over the season, has done a tremendous job in growing his game. As Pellegrino gets it back. Near side for Thomas Di Clemente. Just a bit too much of it, looking forward. There'll be a throw-in for Marshall Ruddy. Marshall Ruddy also has 9 games played and 4 goals for the U16-17s, in addition to his 21 goals for the U15. And it will be a free kick for Marshall Ruddy and Toronto FC. Take a look at the foul. Well, he's saying he got all ball Rosales, but the referee disagreed. And Diego Rosales, the first player to go into the referee's book, as he was administered a yellow card. Achitola's free kick is a good one, but it skips all the way through for Palomares. Jans gets it back. LAFC inviting the pressure. And spinning away from Mbangwe is Torres. And Pellegrino intercepts. This is Gabriel Pellegrino for Toronto FC. Pumps it into the box. And he had to get a touch. Palomares, and he did. And it's a corner kick for Toronto FC. 6th corner kick of the game. 1st corner kick of the half. Can they make one of these tell? Free kick looped in. It's still allowed to bounce in the box. And a foul is called. So it'll be a free kick for LAFC in the 46th minute. Take a look for the foul, for that push in the back coming from Shannon. So he did have both hands outstretched. Free kick quickly taken. And sprayed over the near side for Rosales. He's being watched by Marshall Ruddy. Gets back to Palomares. He'll send it into midfield. Flicked on and intercepted by Di Clemente, who will find his keeper. Dino Bontes. His backup is Adisa Di Rosario, son of former MLS MVP Dwayne Di Rosario. Jordan Alvarez has it poked away from him, and Yance will shield it out of bounds, but it went off of LAFC last. Fans on the far side in black and gold didn't agree with that call, but it's Toronto FC to build from their back line. Over the head of Marshall Ruddy. Flag stays down. Presto to the byline, pulls it back across. And just missing it was Christian Torres. Clearance only as far as Franco de Luna. Now coming back to get it is Lima. He has a go. That will be a Toronto FC goal kick. Plenty of U.S. Soccer talent identification scouts watching this U-15 championship. Over 20 U.S. Soccer Talent ID scouts in Oceanside to watch all the matches. And on top of that, 470 at last count registered scouts, the majority of them college coaches, are also in Oceanside for the Development Academy playoffs and showcases. Taking in 667 games starting last week and finishing on the 29th on both the girls and boys side of the U.S. Soccer Development Academy. 7,384 players from 436 teams in Oceanside for these playoffs and showcase. And it's the U-15 boys who will be the first team to raise a trophy. The U18-19 girls final will also be held in Oceanside. Well, the other levels, the winners of the quarterfinals here in Oceanside will go through to championship weekend, which will be held, or championship week, I should say, which will be held at Orange County Great Park in Irvine, home of Orange County Soccer Club in the USL Championship. That from July 8th through 11th. This one played in, behind Torres, flying in is Vasquez. And it falls in the box. Rosales leaves it off at the top of the box. And the break could be on here for Toronto FC. Alvarez only has Mbangwe in front of him, and he holds it up and waits for the run from the outside. Good job by Alvarez to wait for the cavalry to arrive, and now they can attack with more numbers, TFC. Over to the near side, but behind Marshall Ruddy and out of bounds for a throw-in. TFC getting ready to make their second change of the afternoon. going to be Joshua Gordon, who just turned 14 yesterday to come on. So happy belated birthday to him as he makes his way into the championship match. And Gordon comes in to replace Marcus Pustahegi, who is excellent in the center of defense for Toronto FC. With that substitute, we will see if Toronto FC reshuffled their lineup or whether it was a straight swap. Bit hard to tell when they're on the attacking side of the ball, but now LAFC, yeah, he's gone to outside back. And it looks like Alvarez has dropped to center back alongside Shannon, and stepping up into the midfield to play as the holding midfielder is Marko Stojanovic. So Stojanovic is in as the 6 for Toronto FC. Gordon to outside back and Alvarez into center back. And there is Alvarez making the clearance. Pellegrino out wide for Marshall Ruddy. Being watched by Rosales. Marshall Ruddy into the box. Di Clemente is quickly closed down. And the two defenders for LAFC conspire to get it clear. Only as far as Marshall Ruddy. And a nice little 1-2 played with the referee. And Shannon gets it back in for Stojanovic. Great play by the number 6, Stojanovic. They often say of the holding midfielder that they're the link between defense and attack, but you also have to know when you can't go forward with it and need to keep it. And Stojanovic contented himself with simple passes there. This is Gordon. Nachitola was fouled. Just over 12 minutes gone in the second half. As that clearance falls kindly for LAFC, it's Presto, the 2-goal hero. Rolls it on for Fabian Vasquez. Has Rosales in support. Line. I know it'll be Toronto FC's ball as Di Clemente stepped in to disrupt the LAFC attack. Referee wants the throw to be taken from the spot where the ball went into touch. So Di Clemente is going to have to go back with it about 5 or 6 yards. Flighted to the near side for Rosales, being watched by Marshall Ruddy. Able to get it inside for Presto, who couldn't find the run of Fabian Vasquez. So back it comes to Alvarez. We'll leave it off for his keeper. Bontis being chased. Presto flicks it on. Lima plays it into the pocket of space out wide for Kevin Jimenez. Jimenez so dangerous on the run, but this time Gordon shuts the door. Gordon runs out of real estate on the far side, so it'll be a throw-in for LAFC. Quickly taken. Skipping into the box. Lima pulls it back. And well stationed was the defender to get it clear, but the shot fizzed in, stinging the gloves of Bontis. Well, how did Lima work his way through there? Now he's able to pick up his head. Out wide, Jimenez, so dangerous when he cuts back. It's a good ball in. And getting his head on it was Di Clemente. And Bontis, good outlet. Marshall Ruddy can run. He's electrifying in full flight, Marshall Ruddy, and he comes forward. Out wide for Achitola, who can't spin. '56th minute, and LAFC preparing their first substitution. Looks like it's Wilcott who's going to check in. Meanwhile, they're on the back foot at the moment as this ball comes into the corner. And Marshall Ruddy wins the throw-in for Toronto. Robert Wilcott, one of the members of the U-13s that won the CONCACAF Champions League, has also been called into U-14 national camps. And he is getting set to make his entrance into this championship at the next dead ball. But for now, it's intercepted in midfield. And back it comes to Shannon. We'll roll it across for Alvarez. He slides it inside. Gordon lost the handle. And sprayed over to the far side, looking for Jimenez. Jimenez gets to the second ball, but can't skip by Alvarez. No foul, says the referee, and the break could be on for Lima. Has 2 to find in the box. Lima holds it up along the byline. And it's TFC who come away with it. Pellegrino, Marshall Ruddy, his favorite position, running at defenders. Smartly gets it into the middle for Stoyan Dinovic, but his pass is picked off. And now LAFC thought about the break, realized they didn't have numbers forward, they go back with it. And now more black and gold jerseys get into the attack, as well as Rosales, but this one is slid through, looking for the run. Vasquez was asking too much of him, and at the top of his box to take is Dino Bontis. Forward, looking for the run of Mbangwe. Out of his goal box to make the clearance is Palomares. Oh, and the backwards header could be trouble. Torres, and Bontes was cool under pressure. Oh, Torres. Such good anticipation there, very nearly cut off the back pass, and it forces the clearance to be intercepted in midfield. Lima, little touch off for Presto. Helps it on to Vasquez. Vasquez squares up to Di Clemente and will use his support. Rosales. Beautiful 1 and 2 touch passing from LAFC, but it rolls out of bounds for a throw-in. And here comes the aforementioned change. As Robert Wilcott is getting set to come on for Fabian Vasquez. A like-for-like substitution as one outside forward goes on for another. And Wilcott is on for his 4th appearance from the playoffs. Robert Wilcott, 1 goal for the U-15s. He's up from the U-14s where he has 20 goals in 22 appearances, making that one an easy decision for head coach Cristiano Scapolo to bring him up for this playoff run. That's a heavy challenge, and it's going to be the game's 2nd yellow card. So Toronto FC's trainer is going to come out as referee Jacqueline Amaya has some administrative work to do. So break and play as we're on the hour mark in Oceanside, and LAFC with a 2-0 lead over Toronto FC in the inaugural Boys U-15 Development Academy Championship match. It was Luis Lima who made the challenge and goes into the referee's book. Thank you to fourth official Colby Johnson for spotting that number to me. As here comes the challenge from Lima as Pellegrino slid in away from him, got the ball off, and it did come in late and from an awkward angle from Lima. And therefore, the second LAFC player to go into Jacqueline Amaya's book this morning. And Pellegrino walking off under his own power, but a bit gingerly. TFC are preparing a change. Question is whether or not it is for Pellegrino. We will find out shortly. And it is Pellegrino whose number's up on the board. And on comes Duman Obilo. Dubin making his 22nd appearance of the season. He will turn 15 on Thursday, Obilo. Head coach Michael Stefano saying of his number 15, he is a real student of the game. Stojandinovic into the feet of Gordon, measures up across, rising to meet it is Mbangwe, and it's a lifeline for Toronto FC. Just past the hour mark, hope is restored. Mbangwe has pulled one back for Toronto FC. Stojandinovic left it off for Gordon, and the substitute, beautiful cross right on the head of Mbangwe, and a towering header to put home his 20th goal of the season for the U-15s. '23rd goal in all age groups for Mbangwe this season, and it's game on again in Oceanside. "17 minutes left for Toronto FC to find an equalizer. What kind of momentum does it give Toronto FC? How does it change things for LAFC, knowing that they no longer have the 2-goal cushion? Inside for Mbangwe, keeper slipped, and Mbangwe gets around the keeper, but it's off of him last, and it'll be a goal kick for LAFC. They're looking more and more menacing, Toronto FC. As Palomares did just enough to put him off, and Mbangwe got beyond him. And in the referee or assistant referee's point of view, the final touch came off the TFC attacker. DeLuna plays it forward. Torres running at Alvarez. Works his way inside, slides it through, looking for Wilcott. And an important intervention made by Thomas DiClemente. Otherwise, Wilcott would have been in with a chance. And it's a corner kick for LAFC as we head into the final 15 minutes of regulation. What a ball, slid through. But DiClemente was aware. And it's just the second corner kick of the game for LAFC. Sent in by Jimenez. Flicked on, still allowed to bounce in the box. And smacked clear by Gordon. The freshly minted 14-year-old has made a huge impact since coming on with that important clearance, and it was his assist that put Toronto FC back in the match. And now the trainer being called on for that heavy collision in midfield. So for the moment, Marshall Ruddy will have to step off because the trainer came on. He'll get looked at quickly, and then the referee will give him permission to come right back on. And the referee has given permission, so just as quickly as we went down to 10v11, we're back to 11v11. As DeLuna intercepts in midfield, forward for Lima, hoisted into the center, and Presto was trying to head it down for the run of Christian Torres. Gordon. Torres picks his pocket, but is whistled for a foul as the referee says he did it illegally. The pace has really picked up. Wilcott has a step on DiClemente. Slides it across, Jimenez! So close to restoring the 2-goal lead for LAFC. Credit to Dino Bontis for coming out and cutting out the angle. What a pass from Wilcott. Jimenez timed his run to perfection, and the finish was nearly perfect as well. He's a special player, Kevin Jimenez. And it's his backward header that keeps the ball in bounds. Rosales wins it. Taken back in midfield by Stoyan Dinovic. Good hold-up play from Mbangwe. Achitola out wide for Alvarez. He slides it through in the gap, looking for the run of Gordon. Can he put in another cross? He can, just can't keep it in. But Mark Stefano and his coaching staff like it. They applaud the effort. Shannon. Gordon able to find his keeper. And now the press comes on from Wilcott. Shannon rides the challenge of Wilcott. Wilcott hounding him in the corner. Needs to keep his hands down, Wilcott. That is tremendous pressure from Robert Wilcott. And it will be a throw-in for Diego Rosales. Getting his second start of these playoffs, Rosales. too far for Sultanzadeh. So it'll be another throw-in for LAFC as we are heading into the final 10 minutes of regulation. Will LAFC lift the trophy, or does extra time beckon in Oceanside? Wilcott gets it into the center for DeLuna. Gets it away from his opposite number. Leone, long ball over the top for Jimenez to chase. Jimenez nips in to take it away. Still going Jimenez, cuts it back, has Torres, elects to go at it alone. Wilcott will latch onto it before it goes over the end line. He plays it off of Di Clemente, but not enough for it to go out of bounds. And Sultanzadeh plays it back, pass is intercepted. Lima to the end line, and his last touch took it over. Final 9 minutes now. Over the head of DeLuna, and Bongwe wins the first header. Presto, who has both goals for LAFC, battling for the ball. DeLuna rolls it out wide. Ball comes back into the center looking for Torres, but it's headed away by Shannon. And then away by Gordon. Anthony Tachan is getting his final instructions from Cristiano Scapolo, and now makes his way in between the benches as he will come on and try and close out this game for LAFC. There are so many parts to development. It's not only learning about how to play out of the back, it's not only learning about how to solve problems, how to keep your lines tight, how to break lines, it's also learning about game management. And this is what's going to be the biggest lesson for LAFC here inside these final 7+ minutes, as it's Luis Lima who's going to come off, and on for him is Anthony Tachan. So Tachan is on and Lima is off, and it's a smart substitution from Cristiano Scapolo, considering that Lima is on a yellow card. But he has been tremendous in these playoffs, Luis Lima, at the heart of every dangerous move for this LAFC side. Gordon continues his run into the channel. Marshall Ruddy hoisted in, and rising to meet it again is Mbongwe, and we're level. Two headers from Mbongwe, and Toronto FC are back from the dead. This time the cross coming in from Marshall Ruddy. It is Mbongwe who climbs highest, and beautiful technique, getting his header downward, leaving Palomares with absolutely nothing that he could do. Extra time, suddenly a very real prospect in Oceanside. Mbongwe at the double, and we are level at 2 in the 75th minute. Well, champions never quit. And the regular season Development Academy winners and Mid-America Division champions still in with a shout of winning the U-15 championship. Presto behind him. Wilcott tries to steer it to the far post. And Toronto FC have come back from 2 goals. It'll take a second as Wilcott was just trying to get it inside that far post. Was looking to pick out the corner. In the end, Bontis happy to see that one trickle wide. But Toronto FC have got back in this game, not by lumping balls forward, not by pressing everybody up, but by playing their game. And they have an opportunity to sneak a late winner here. Marshall Ruddy goes down in the box, and the referee points to the spot. Take a look here. Was it a penalty? Marshall Ruddy, so dangerous when he runs at players. Clattered into from behind by Bo Yance. And the referee deeming that there was enough there for a foul. She thought about it before making the decision. And now it's an opportunity for the man who won the penalty to see if he can give Toronto FC the lead. Marshall Ruddy looking for his 22nd goal of the season. And it would be the biggest one at that. It's Jaquil Marshall Ruddy. Saved by Palomares. And the referee saying that he left this line too early. Well, what is the referee called here? Well, let's take a look. Oh, there was a foot on the line. He stepped forward. I'm not going to say whether or not I think that this penalty should be retaken, because to be honest with you, I don't know. Oh, that is heartbreaking from Palomares, who did so well to save that shot from Marshall Ruddy because he struck it with plenty of venom. And so now, Marshall Ruddy, can he do it at the second time of asking? Sends the keeper the wrong way, and for the first time today, Toronto FC have the lead. Well, look what it means to Toronto FC players and fans, as this time he switched it up. This time he went for placement instead of power. This time he scores the goal. And now it's LAFC's turn to see if they can respond. As coming off is Franco De Luna, and he's going to be replaced by Nathan Ordaz. Well, the difference for LAFC is they have only 2+ minutes to see if they can find an equalizer. And 2 changes being made by LAFC. As also coming on is Aldarua. What a job by Michael Stefano's side to come back. The title seemed to be heading up the 405. Instead, now it looks to be on its way across the border. Final minute of the 80. Toronto FC with 3 goals in the space of 17 minutes. And now they'll have to defend, as it is a corner kick for LAFC, just their 3rd of the game, but they were able to score their first goal off their first corner. Everybody making their way into the box. Only 2 outfield players outside of the box for LAFC, and the cross doesn't beat the first defender. There will be a second opportunity. Lifted in, bounces through, and flicked toward goal. But falling on it is Dino Bontis. And now The next question is how much stoppage time will be added on by the referee. Shouts of Dino for Dino Bontes comes in as the Reds have a player down, but they are on the verge of making history as the first ever club to win the U-15 U.S. Soccer Development Academy Championship. 4 minutes of stoppage time. 4 minutes for Toronto FC to hold on and finish off their incredible season in which they lost only once, and that came in the playoffs after an undefeated season. 4 minutes for LAFC to see if they can find the equalizer and send this game into extra time. Well, no matter what happens, it has been a brilliant season for both of these teams. Both winning over 20 games this year, both scoring loads of goals, both in the top 5 in offense and the top 10 in defense. These players are all on a special pathway, as is Marshall Ruddy, who is struggling. But the thumbs up from the trainer is a very good sign for Toronto FC, as Marshall Ruddy, who as things stand, has the championship winning goal, will be able to come back in. Well, you have to think that because of that injury, that they're going to go well beyond the minimum 4 minutes of stoppage time. If we do go into extra time, there will be 2 10-minute periods of extra time, followed by a shootout. But still, LAFC have to score before that can happen. Michael Stefano and his staff asking everybody to get back behind the ball for Toronto FC as they're trying to chisel their way down that flank and get it into the corner. But instead, LAFC will have a chance to come forward. 2 minutes, the minimum 4 have elapsed in stoppage time. Pumped forward. Leone is up from his center back position, but out to take the ball is Dino Bontes. Alderua unable to track it down. It'll be a throw in on the far side. Gordon, responsible for getting Toronto FC back in the game, throws the ball into the man he served it into to score the first of his 2 goals. A heavy challenge on the far side and a free kick for Toronto FC. And the bench calling for calm. Clipped into the corner. Mbangwe shielded off the ball by Yance. Into the final minute of the minimum 4 minutes of stoppage time, but because there was an injury to Marshall Ruddy, I believe that more time is going to be added on at the end of those 4 minutes. So we will go into added time of added time. Toronto FC won't mind the ball being down there as they win a throw-in. Now, what a sensational game we have witnessed here in Oceanside. A great showcase for this U-15 age group, as anywhere will do at the moment. Cleared out. And it's a corner kick. Into the added time of added time. FC Dallas players getting ready to play their U16-17 quarterfinal, sitting just in front of where the corner is going to be taken. The goalkeeper is up from the back. Can they grab a dramatic equalizer? Cleared off the line. And Palomares gets a foot in. And it's going to be LAFC's ball. Left off for Palomares. who plays it to the far side as Sultanzadeh was chasing. And still we play on. Walcott, he spins. Top of the box, out wide for Rosales. Rosales measuring up across, hoists it to the back post. Keeper's missed it, and it's headed off the line again. It still might be something on. Now it's punched clear. Palomares heads it again. Still going Palomares. Smack cleared by Di Clemente. The Toronto bench calling for the whistle to be blown. And it's Marshall Ruddy on the far side. The goalkeeper's out. Marshall Ruddy over to the far side, or near side rather. And Achitola being directed to take it in the corner, and he heeds his coach's call. The trophy is going to need a passport. It's going north of the border. Toronto FC are the first ever U-15 Boys Development Academy champions. Came back from 2-0 down to win 3-2. And the number 1 seed going into the playoffs are standing alone at the top of the podium. Dylan Presto with a first half brace gave LAFC the 2-0 lead, but Mbangwe responded with 2 goals in the space of 11 minutes, both headers coming from crosses down the right-hand side. And then with just a few minutes left, it was Jaquil Marshall Ruddy who stepped up and slid in his penalty to give Toronto the lead, as they would ultimately go on to climb the mountain and stand atop the summit of the U-15 U.S. Soccer Development Academy. So that will do it from us up here in the booth, but a reminder to stay with us as we are going to go down and get some interviews from the field. And after that, we will have the medal ceremony and trophy presentation. From Brunel, up in the booth, I'm Mark Serber saying so long from Oceanside, where it finishes Toronto FC 3, LAFC 2. Toronto FC are the first ever U.S. Soccer Development Academy Boys U-15 champions. Here with two-goal hero Hugo Mbangwe. First of all, congratulations on the great win. What were your emotions when the final whistle was blown?
Pure joy, because we went through adversity in the first half, and we had to fight back, claw back to get the result, and we got it done.
Talking about adversity, that's the second time you've come from behind in this playoffs. What is it about you and your teammates that makes this team so resilient?
Just our heart, our passion, our determination, our love of the game, all that, you know. We put everything on the pitch for each other, for our families, for our parents, everything.
And you had 2 goals, both of them headers. Walk us through it. What did you see there in the build-up and your finish as well?
So we just play our style of play, then we get the ball out wide. Then Jaquil Marshall-Ruddy, our number 7 right winger, put in 2 brilliant balls, and I try to get to the end of it and do the best that I could with the header.
Hugo Mbangwe, you are the first ever U-15 U.S. Soccer Development Academy champion. Congratulations. Go celebrate.
Thank you.
The 2019 U-15 Development Academy Boys Championship. Only 1 loss and 2 ties between them both. So certainly an impressive feat during the regular season that we saw continue here in Oceanside throughout the playoffs. So it was fitting these two teams battled it out, and it certainly was a battle today. We congratulate you on your efforts for the entire year, both to our champions and our runner-up, and we're excited for the future years ahead for all of you. First, we'd like to invite LAFC, this year's runner-up at the U-15 boys age group, to come forward and please receive their medals. And for the first time, we'd like to announce tournament awards. We have 4 awards. All 8 teams that qualified for the Development Academy playoffs are eligible for these awards. The awards were selected by U.S. Soccer's technical staff who observed games from throughout the season, and most importantly for these awards throughout the tournament here in Oceanside. If I call your name and you're present, please come forward to take a photo with the U.S. Soccer technical staff. First, a team award presented for fair play, team that demonstrates respect, both players and coaches, and operates with the utmost respect to the game and fair play. That award goes to LAFC. Please come forward, captains. The next award, an individual award to the best goalkeeper throughout the tournament. That award goes to Chris Brady from Chicago Fire. Chris is not present, so we'll move to the next award, our Golden Boot Award. That award is given to the top scorer from the 3 group stage games, as well as the championship today. There are 2 award winners, tied on goals, Christian Torres from LAFC, and Hugo Mbagwe from Toronto FC. And the final individual award is given to the best player of the tournament. That is the Golden Ball Award. And the 2019 Golden Ball goes to LAFC's Antonio Leone. At this time, we would like to call forward the players from the 2019 U-15 Championship, the inaugural Boys U-15 Championship with the Development Academy, Toronto FC. And to present the Academy Trophy for the U-15 Boys Development Academy to Toronto FC. Congratulations.